guest, respected guests of honor, invited dignitaries, guests, and delegates, a very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in the inauguration ceremony of state-of-the-art Material Science and Metallurgical Engineering Center of Research, Innovation and Artificial Intelligence, a high-performance computing facility, and a high-resolution electronic microscopic facility inauguration ceremony. To begin with this auspicious ceremony, may I now invite Honorable Professor B.S. Moti Sir, Director of our Institute, for delivering the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. From the bottom of my heart, I welcome our Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. Our guest of honor, Mr. Shingo Miyamoto, Minister of Economic and Development, Embassy of Japan. Our beloved Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy Garu, our Chairman, DG-CDAC, IIT Hyderabad. Mr. Akamine Kengo, Senior Representative of JICA, and Shri Jayesh Ranjan ji, who could not come, but he has sent his greetings to all of us. And Dr. Reddy Garu, Director, DMRL Hyderabad. Dr. Narayan Murthy Garu, Director, RCI Hyderabad, and Dr. Tata Narasimha Garu, Acting Director, ARCI Hyderabad. Professor P.J. Narayanan, Director, IIIT Hyderabad, and Shri Samuel Pratap, President, Honeywell, who sent his wishes to all of us, and Colonel A.K. Nath, DG-CDAC, and Professor Ashutosh Sharma, who also sent his greetings to all of us, Secretary-DST, and Shri Ajay Sane, Secretary-Mighty, and Mr. Ichiro Kuda, and Mr. Saurabh, and so on from here. All of you have taken time off your busy schedules to grace this occasion and to be with us. And also to all my deans, heads of departments, faculty, staff, and students of IIT Hyderabad, and all those who are watching this event in an online mode. Welcome to all of you, friends, for this momentous occasion that IIT Hyderabad is celebrating, with 4 of its facilities being dedicated to the nation. And today, one is among the second phase construction of IIT Hyderabad. The first academic building is now ready. That is the Material Science and Metallurgical Engineering building. That is one which we are soon going to inaugurate. And along with that, 3 additional facilities: Center of Research and Innovation in AI, a wonderful name given by our AI colleagues, and high performance computing facility and high resolution electron microscopic facility. All these are going to be inaugurated. I'll say a few words about each of these to just for the sake of people who might not be expertise in this particular area. MSME, as all of you are aware, is the first academic building, as I mentioned, in that second phase, and it has been doing wonderful work in the country and known to be one of the best material science and metallurgical departments in the country. And it is one of the first set of buildings, which we call it as 18-month buildings, that are supposed to be ready. Unfortunately, due to the COVID, it got delayed by almost 10 months, and we are having it today. And I would like to thank JICA and Ministry of Education for having supported this particular building, along with a number of other buildings which are getting ready. As you have walked into the institute, you would have seen so many of these buildings, second phase buildings, are getting ready. High resolution electron microscopic facility again is very unique, particularly the TEM that you are going to see very soon is going to be the India's first gold field emitter TEM, which is the first in the country, which is going to be inaugurated very soon, and the which is also going to be inaugurated is also going to help faculty and students of IIT Hyderabad and also a number of institutions nearby to get to the bottom of the materials, see materials at the atomic resolution level in 3D. That's an amazing capability that these 2 facilities have. And I would like to once again thank JICA and Ministry of Education for their support. And I'm sure that the dreams of the country in the area of probing into the materials get strengthened with these. We also have dreams to set up a kind of a one-stop place for an in situ microscopy in the country at IIT Hyderabad. Soon, hopefully in a year or 2, we will be in a position to get that soon. The next one is the Center of Excellence for Research and Innovation in AI. Again, this is a wonderful facility that is being set up. For many of you who might already know that IIT Hyderabad is a unique institution which has started the first UG program in AI among all the institutions, and many are following us now. And in addition, we also launched India's first NVIDIA AI Technology Center last year, and many areas of research are being pursued, starting from agriculture to even areas such as aerospace engineering and defense and variety of other areas using this AI facility at IIT Hyderabad. We are eagerly waiting for that to be inaugurated. And we are also part of Telangana AI Mission, and IIT Hyderabad has been doing a lot of work to the growth of the Telangana government through this particular facility. Again, I would like to thank JICA and Hon'ble having supported this particular facility at IIT Hyderabad with almost 650 teraflop GPU computing power. I'm sure this is going to be a feather in the cap of the Telangana government, Telangana area in general, and help the overall country to grow in the area of supercomputing. Also, we have another high performance computing facility that is going to be inaugurated today, a facility which is initiated by DST mission on supercomputing, supported by MIT, and also built together with CDAC. Is a facility with about 650 teraflop supercomputing capacity, and I'm sure a large number of institutions within this region are waiting for such kind of a facility. With that, I'm sure various areas of national importance are going to be worked on, starting from modeling of space and defense vehicles, cybersecurity, healthcare solutions, weather predictions, big data analytics, and just to name a few. So I'm eagerly looking forward to your support to grow together and also ensure the country grows in the area of what our beloved Prime Minister Ji calls it as Aatma Nirbhar Bharat. And I'm sure together all of us will make this dream realized very soon. And with that, I would like to welcome once again all of you, and Jai Hind.
I now take pleasure to invite Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy sir to address the gathering.
A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, our Minister for Education, Skills and Entrepreneurship, and several of the dignitaries who are here today for this August event. I join our Director, Professor B.S. Murthy, in extending a very warm welcome to all of you for this event. I've been associated with IIT Hyderabad for the last 9 years. And to me, I have to share with you, it's a delight to come back to this campus fairly often. But every time that I come back, I see something new. A new department being created, a new course being announced, a new infrastructure being created, or equally important, the one which was very touching to me, the last visit of mine, was creating a school for the children of our faculty, supporting staff, and more importantly, all the people who are around us, to the society around us. It's a great reflection of the work that's being done by the director, Professor Murthy, ably supported by several of the deans who are here, the faculty, and the supporting administrative staff do an amazing job. So first, let me join my hands in terms of acknowledging. Thank you, Murthy. So as a part of this amazing job, we are here today to inaugurate yet another and this time being done in partnership with the Japanese government, or JICA to be more specific. People like me, a few of you, not many of you around, who belong to the yesteryears, went to schools like IIT Kanpur or IIT Delhi or IIT Chennai. When we started looking at collaboration, which was more to the West, it was US, it was UK, it was Germany, it was Russia to a small extent, but majority of it was all looking at the West and not the East. But it wasn't true at all that it was only West which had leading edge technologies compared to the East. But I guess there were limitations. One common thread we had, leaving apart Germany to a certain extent. Enormous amount of traffic that went between India To the west was to US and UK. And the key reason, of course, is very obvious. It was all to do with language. But now that there is enormous amount of sophistication that's also come in terms of technology, in providing that translation literally online in real time, language hasn't become any barrier. But even before that, I think the Indian government and the Japanese government certainly took the right initiatives in making sure we had this joint partnership program. Actually, this program was initiated way back in 2011. It was supposed to be a 10-year program. And certainly, while a lot of infra was going on, we have seen benefits accruing to us also for a period of last 10 years. We have seen a fairly large number of students who have gone to Japan. Lots of faculty exchange programs that have happened. And we've also seen collaboration with about 20 leading world-class universities from Japan. The sum total of it is, it's a win-win for both Japan as well as India. We live in a world right now which is all driven by technology. Technology is leapfrogging at a pace which has never been experienced before. But as a result of that, there's also a fairly large opportunity in terms of innovation. You bring these technologies together, put them together into a new product or a process, and that's innovation, an iterative process through which you come out with something which is more beneficial to mankind. And that today is becoming more of open innovation. People are not saying we want to do it here physically in a location, or we want to do it in our department. We want to make sure that we want to do it just in India. And with this open innovation culture, collaborations of this nature will go a long way in terms of providing greater benefit to mankind in the longer run. So that way, I think it's a very good step in making sure that we will join hands much more stronger with the Japanese government, Japanese universities, JICA, in making sure that we'll have more amount of innovation to come by. It certainly is very heartening to see a new department building created, metallurgical sciences and metallurgy engineering building that's being created at this point in time. Certainly, physical infrastructure is very important. People say, what is in it? To me, yes, there's an identity in it. There is a house and a home. I have great pride in my home, not in the house I live, is what I keep saying. So therefore, our departments will have enormous amount of pride when they say, I have my department, that's my home. So therefore, congratulations to all the people who are moving into the new department. But equally important is the areas in which we're also further collaborating. The broader agenda for Government of India right now is to make India an AI nation. There's no denying at all that several people criticize, where are we? We are far behind the two other nations which are ahead of us. I can call them out, US and China. But people like me believe that still the opportunity is large. And if we can probably get ourselves into the right direction, we will be in a position to compete with them. Get close to them. We need not be, I'll take back that word called compete. We'll be as good as them. There's no competition, there's so much of opportunity. A key element to make sure that this AI becomes a reality, in perspective, is also this high performance computing that's required. We keep saying what makes difference at this point of time in leapfrogging these technologies, galloping of these technologies, is basically to do with computing, storage, sensors, communication. And finally, it became data, which led us into AI. So one of the key building blocks, if you're going to see that AI becomes a reality, is this ability to compute in real time. And I'm also seeing some of my good friends here, familiar faces. Professor Raj Lakshmi is here. Professor Kiran Kurchi, they're all working on 5G technologies. So therefore, computing 5G technologies, I'm sure there's several more in terms of sensors, in terms of data sciences, altogether would make AI a big reality for all of us. So congratulations on opening all the 3 departments. I may not be in a position to compute so much, comment so much on the electron microscope facility. I'm not invested in it. So I leave it for now and say that, we have a great opportunity in terms of making sure that we use these facilities to scale our institution to the high level. So my earnest appeal to all of you is that please make good use of this facility. Actually, Professor Murthy talked about that it's going to be a boom for just not IIT, for this region, he said. That's the type of 500 teraflops you said, 650 teraflops is the capacity task. So therefore, I think there's a great opportunity for all of us. Before I conclude, I will fail in my duty if I don't thank the Japanese government and JICA for the cooperation they're extending to us. A, in terms of financially, but B, in terms of trying to have these exchange programs. It is not very common for Japanese to do that. That's what history tells us. The fact that they're doing with Hyderabad reflects how good you are. But if you can get better, this relationship will become stronger. So the challenge is with us. The responsibility and the onus rests on our shoulders to ensure we make good use of these facilities and produce something that the Japanese government and the JICA and the Japanese universities, and equally importantly, our government and our leadership will be very delighted about it. So wish you all the best and thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Honorable Shri Jayesh Ranjan ji, the Principal Secretary of Industries and Commerce and Information Technology Departments of the Telangana government to address the gathering.
Thanks to all the participants, all the attendees. It's a very happy moment for all of us in the Telangana government that IIT Hyderabad is crossing another very important milestone in its relentless journey to achieve academic excellence. I'm the IT Secretary in the government of Telangana. We are one state where our focus on adopting new generation technologies, what we call emerging technologies, is very sincere, is very high. We are one of the first states which came up with a very comprehensive and a very business-friendly policy for emerging technologies. We identified 8 emerging technologies, and for each of them, there is a sectoral policy, there are institutions, and we have taken high-quality talent to run those policies and institutions. All of us know that amongst all the new generation technologies that are coming up, the one which has shown the highest promise, in fact, it is almost a transformational kind of a technology, that is artificial intelligence. And in Telangana government also, we are not oblivious to the powers of artificial intelligence in bringing improved services to our people, in improving the efficiency of government services delivery. In fact, 2020, the year which has just gone by, while it was a depressing year in many ways, but in Telangana, we also consecrated that year as the year of artificial intelligence. We ran a number of programs for artificial intelligence. We also came out with a very comprehensive framework. We encouraged innovation. We supported startups. We partnered with lots of academic institutions, including the IIT, and we also participated with corporates. Now, one of the things which we came across when we were implementing the Year of AI program is that there is a need for high performance computing, because the conventional computing systems that we have, they are not many times amenable to writing algorithms where you have humongous amounts of data. And as you know, artificial intelligence and machine learning, they do require humongous amounts of data to be made available so that the algorithms reliability improves significantly. And we were also kind of conscious of the fact that this particular lacuna, not having access to high performance computing, will actually pull us down with all the ambitions that we have in making AI in the forefront of all our technology innovation and bringing technology to the government. So in that context, I'm very happy that the DST's National Supercomputing Mission, METI, CDAC, all of them have decided to set up a high performance computing center of 650 TF capacity in IIT Hyderabad. And I'm very confident that this is the facility which will make the real difference between writing precise algorithms, using large volumes of data, and making best use of that. I'm also very happy that a new center which focuses on research and innovation on artificial intelligence, that is also getting launched today. This is called CREA, the Center for Research and Innovation in AI, supported by JICA, the Ministry of Education, and Hon'ble. This is again a very, very positive development, because our experience of the last year and a half has been that we are only limited by our imagination. I mean, AI has potential to impact literally every aspect of our society, every aspect of our economy, and it is only our imagination which kind of limits us. So I'm sure that this this center will foster lots of original ways of solving some of the biggest challenges that we face using AI tools, etc. My request to Professor Murthy and senior faculty members for IIT would be that let us align this center with some of the pressing challenges which we are trying to solve in the state government. Agriculture is a very big focus for us. Professor Murthy, you are a part of our artificial intelligence mission, what is called TAIM, and you know that we want to take up grand challenges in agriculture. Thereafter, we want to take up grand challenges in healthcare and mobility. So these are priorities, of course, important for Telangana, but they have a universal appeal as well. So my suggestion and my request would be that let CRIA also align itself to the state government's activities and work that we do. And I'm sure that these two important additions to the technology landscape of Telangana and Hyderabad will hold all of us in good stead. My congratulations and compliments to Professor Murthy and his team for launching these two programs today. And once again, my best wishes and greetings to all of us. Thank you very much.
Now, it is my pleasure to invite Honorable Professor P.J. Narayanan, Director of International Institute of Information Technology, to share a few words with us.
It's a great feeling to see this big facility coming up, multiple facilities getting inaugurated here. Hyderabad is veritably becoming a big center for multiple education institutions. When IIIT started in 1998 and ISB started very soon after that, there were very few national institutions in Hyderabad. Then BITS came up, Hyderabad, the IIT came up, and of course there are many, University of Hyderabad has been there much earlier than that. So we are making a sure and strong march towards making a mark. But most importantly, education institutions can be built fairly easily. The research capacity is even harder to build, and that requires sustained effort from the leadership, of course, but also the faculty members and students who actually do the work, or other research professors, research staff who work together. And last 2 years or year and a half has been very bad for most of us because of the pandemic. The last time I came to this campus was, I think, a month before it closed down, maybe February. But I'm very glad to see so much construction happen. So many things have changed on the campus, and that's very pleasant to me. That year and a half of wait was really worth it. So many things have come up, and I see it marching towards, its own IIT marching towards its own glory that destined for itself. Particularly, the 4 facilities getting inaugurated, the electron microscope. Again, I'm a computer scientist. I don't know a whole lot to say about it, but in all endeavors, whether computers are at the forefront today, but computers are made possible by tremendous improvement in electronics, in basic science, in physics, and at the very top, where the first listed center or inauguration is happening for the material science, MSME. I think materials are the future. Smart materials we hear about. As an outsider, I know very, very little about graphene or other material that we hear about. But I have a feeling smart materials, smart in many ways, will be the future. Has a huge role to play, and I'm sure the metallurgical engineering and material science department will play a big role in it. And IIIT being an IT-focused institution, it's very difficult for us to grow into such areas. So I look forward to actually working with this team. In fact, for a few years, I've been thinking we should introduce smart, what called smart in many ways today. Smart is associated with use of computers. But I think the use of algorithms or techniques and AI in discovering materials or evaluating, quickly reducing the materials that are millions and billions of materials are possible. How do you look at properties very quickly and do smart experimentation? So this kind of activity, I have a secret dream of starting a research effort on that in IIIT. But I think it takes a lot more effort, fundamentally contribution from science, from engineering, from nanoscience. Many activities which are not easy to build in an institution like IIIT. But what better to collaborate with IIT? And I'm very glad to see this happening. And I really think materials will make a big mark in the next several decades, just as IT or computers have made a mark in that. And of course, the other two are very dear to me, the High Performance Computing Center and the AI KRIA. AI is the buzzword that even Jayesh Ranjan mentioned about it. There is a lot to be achieved from AI. AI has a relatively short past and checkered past, I would say. There was huge expectations on AI in like 70s. Then there was a huge disappointment. In the last 10 years, AI has really delivered the original promise, at least came close to delivering the original promise from the 60s and 70s. And I think it has a great future, even though the past, there are hurdles and speed bumps in the path of AI so far. But I think the future will be very bright, and we're very glad to see the special effort. We also started a policy center on AI, intelligent systems, we call it, about 5 years ago, and we've been working on many projects, again with Telangana government and people from here, Vineet and others have been working also with us very closely. And we also have a technology innovation hub that was funded by DST on data-driven technology. So very close to the AI, the data from AI. So we are working on especially transportation-related problems. Smart mobility is the word. Transportation, how to understand the roads, how to guide the drivers so that everybody is safer. That one of the activities. Other activity that data-driven technologies is other focus area is healthcare, particularly public health. So these are two things we are doing, and I think our hub is in very close contact with a similar hub that is established here on autonomous navigation, and I think there is a lot of synergy between all these. And high performance computing, of course, we are very glad to see a regional center, and we look forward to actually being able to use some of the facilities because this NSM has been the work for many years. I was invited to the first NSM planning meeting that was in December 2010. I mean, it took so long for the things to actually happen, but it's good that it has happened because computation power is far more of a weapon, but of a useful weapon today in the world than it was 10 years ago. Even then, people thought it was a huge advantage. But today it's even more so. And I'm sure this center here will give a fillip to AI activity, certainly this in IIT, but also in this area. And these are national centers. I'm sure others also will be coming. So I'm very glad again to see these four very, very important facilities being opened up. But even more importantly, I see IIT Hyderabad making very firm and strong steps towards whatever was planned for itself in the beginning. And this is one strong step. I'm expecting more and more in the coming years, and I'm very glad to be associated with it. I always come to any function that happens here whenever I'm invited or whenever I have time. So I wish all these centers the very best, and I wish IIT and its faculty the very best. Thank you very much.
Next, we have the Acting Director of the International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials, ARCI, Hyderabad, Honorable Dr. Tata Narasimha Rao. Let us welcome him with a huge round of applause.
I have a special attachment. Although I'm invited as acting director of ARCI, but I have personally a special attachment with IIT Hyderabad because 2008 in August, when the IIT Hyderabad started in the ordnance factory in the KV school, for the first batch of BTechs, I started teaching chemistry because that time there were no faculties. Professor Baldra, IIT Chennai was mentoring this. Professor Baldra of chemistry department also one of the mentors. So he called me and I was teaching 2 semesters. I thought it was an amazing experience because teaching IIT kids who are bright stars. So it's not so easy task. I used to prepare until late night to teach the next class next day. But of course, I should thank Tokyo University because all the teaching skills I got when I was teaching as a lecturer in University of Tokyo. A significant fraction of my young age went in University of Tokyo. So I always feel that Tokyo is my second hometown. And I'm very happy that JICA is part of this development of IIT Hyderabad. So not only that, so ever since I've seen the growth, it's a exponential growth of whether it's infrastructure or faculty or the departments of research and development in the last 12 years. It's amazing, and then that's why the attachment when you see a newborn kid, and then when he grows, when you see the growth, and then you start getting attachment. So that's what I had. And as a result, we have consistent interaction with IIT Hyderabad. I want to tell that the first project of IIT Hyderabad, it used to scroll when the website started IIT Hyderabad. The first project of IIT Hyderabad was funded by ARCI. With one student, Aki Bhaskar, given to Professor Balaji, and later he continued with chemistry department, DEPA. And that was amazing. And in the first few years, they published excellent papers in the small, nano scale American Chemical Society. And then now he's in a very good position. And that was not only that, although it was, and I myself learned a lot from this fundamental research what we had with the collaboration with this chemistry department. But the program of lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles, it was the vision of Professor Balaji and myself. We never expected to go a long way. And then last week, sir, Jayesh Ranjan came to ARCI to transfer the first materials technology of lithium-ion battery, lithium-ion phosphate in this country for the EV, because 30% of the lithium-ion batteries cost comes from the materials, and then we made the first technology for the material development and transfer. So I'm proud to say that all this comes because of my first project of lithium-ion, what we started with IIT Hyderabad. So the fundamental contribution is always required. You all know that ARCI focuses on translational material research. We do the lab research and do the prototyping and go to higher TRLs and finally commercialize. And we help a lot of strategic sectors. Our Murthy Garu is a witness for a lot of projects they fund us, and right now also we have 1 or 2 projects going on. But last 10 years, 12 years, we have at least 5 students of ARCI who reached out PhD in IIT, and then they got PhD degrees, and 5 more are going, and especially for the MSME department, we have long interaction, either in terms of student exchange, whether Jayesh Ranjan, starting from Pinaki. I want to say that the first 2 faculty recruited in material science and metallurgy is Professor Pinaki and Professor Jayesh Ranjan, if I am right. And then they are the 2 first faculty whom I used to interact. And we started expanding our research on various areas, whether it is supercapacitor batteries and solar cells, Jayesh Ranjan, and then carbon materials, graphene, and all the carbon center in chemical engineering department. And now the new area with the high entropy alloys, high entropy oxides, we're going to work with some of the materials what Jayesh Ranjan is making to demonstrate at device level at ARCI. And the new topic, that is additive manufacturing, and Murthy Garu has recruited an excellent gentleman, Professor Janaki. And then he's going to actually start, I don't know whether I should say that, company, and then we are going to provide for the company facility in our incubator, and then because we have several facilities, whether EV melting or SLM, all are there, so we have to have win-win kind of experience with them, and then collaborate. So that's one side of that. And I also sort of said the Japanese connection, which is also coming back. And what I see in last 2 years, ever since our long friend Murthy Garu is also our long-time friend ever since he was there in the IIT Chennai. But after he joined, we don't see that there is a COVID or there is a pandemic, because the growth of this infrastructure I see last 2 years is tremendous and enormous. I used to feel that, okay, this brand new campus, if my son has to do his BTech, he should do in this kind of campus, and then got permitted, and then my son joined in engineering fees in IIT Hyderabad and then second year. So all the dreams, what I see under my personal contacts and professional contacts, they are really coming through, and then I wish this will continue, not only between ARCI and IIT, and then and the facility what you have inaugurated today, there is a microstructural facility with cold fag, 200 kV transmission under microscope. It is first of its kind, and then with stable beam, and then high intensity, and then high resolution. And I whenever a new facility comes in IIT Hyderabad, I feel that because my students who are already there, they get benefited through which ARCI also is done. We learn a lot. Even I was in touch with faculty, because we are also going to buy cold fag SEM. So this is good demo model for us, whether to go or not in the next 6 months. So thank you very much, sir, for this giving some data. I'm looking forward to inaugurate all these facilities. Thanks.
It is my privilege to now invite the Director of Research Center Emirate, RCI, Shri VHPS Narayana Murthy ji on the dais. Welcome, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to be among with you all of you today on the inauguration of this whole the infrastructure building for material science and metallurgy, the high performance competition, the Center for AI electron microscope. First of all, my hearty congratulations and compliments to the Professor Jayesh Murthy and his team for getting this excellent infrastructure facilities as part of the phase 2 of IIT Hyderabad expansion. Basically, the DRDO as such has a lot of engagements with academic institutions, particularly the IITs, IIC, so many other academic institutions. And being in the particularly Western systems, particularly Hyderabad is the hub of DRDO, particularly with the research technologies. We have already hit a lot of engagements with IIT Hyderabad in the form of recently we have last year, particularly in the additive manufacturing, we are having a very huge engagement, particularly in the form of technology development for additive manufacturing for futuristic defense applications. And similarly, the MEMS sensor technology, particularly the gyros and accelerated navigation systems, we are already having a good engagement. And the AI-based technologies, lithium battery technologies, so many, particularly the research engagements there with IIT Hyderabad, and a lot of work already is going on in this. And particularly a lot of our scientists registered all in the PhD for IIT Hyderabad, and it is becoming a lot of active interaction with IIT Hyderabad over the last couple of years. And particularly this new facilities definitely will give a boost to the cooperation between DRDO and IIT Hyderabad, particularly in the case of the material science infrastructure, the complete the infrastructure building with all the equipment in the electron microscopy. We are working on new generation technologies like particularly with respect to the hypersonic technologies, where the high temperature materials we are looking at in a big way with respect to the next generation system in the areas of hypersonics, stealth technologies, and other where we can offer a low cross section, particularly for the radar emissions. So definitely this new give a long way of future cooperation. Particularly, I think we'll definitely explore in these areas. And similarly, the AI technologies we are already working, particularly in the new next generation warfare. Particularly, I think the drone-based systems are becoming more and more popular, and definitely the AI plays a major role in this surveillance and tracking and other things, particularly recognizing the targets of interest where normal conventional algorithms will not be able to do so. And similarly, the high performance computing as such is the order of the day. I think as Professor Narayan was telling, the 80s or the late 70s and 80s, the AI was talked about much, but I think it has become big reality, particularly with respect to the computational power and availability of enormous computational power. I think not only in the form of supercomputers, now we are seeing as a real-time computation possible in the very highly miniaturized systems. I think that has become really the boon for making the AI systems a reality. And definitely we are working in this in all our next generation design technologies. AI is becoming will definitely play a major role in particularly the target tracking, target recognition, and also in the areas of robotics, drones, and so many other, particularly in the satellite defense satellite applications. So many areas we are seeing a lot of very big opportunities in these domains. And not only that, in the high performance computing, particularly we are looking at the CFD studies, material studies, and big data analytics. So many areas, I think it will give a long way of opportunities, particularly the students and faculty to carry out their research in these cutting edge technologies. I think this definitely these new facilities and future facilities coming up in IIT Hyderabad will definitely play a long way in the form of faculty and students working on latest research technologies and collaborating with our type of DRDO, ISRO, and other type of scientific organizations for their ongoing projects and related problems. And definitely, I think we are seeing a lot of much wider scope in these engagements. And once again, my greetings and congratulations to Professor B.S. Murthy and his team for infrastructure getting inaugurated today. And all the very best. And once again, I thank Professor B.S. Murthy for inviting me here. Thank you very much.
I would now like to call upon the Honorable Director of Defense Metallurgical Research Laboratory, DMRL, Hyderabad, Dr. G. Madhusudan Reddy, on the dais. Let us welcome him with a round of applause.
I feel greatly honored and privileged to present here with your exhibition. As you know, Hyderabad is city of births and Hyderabad is city of metals. And Hyderabad is in fact hosts many national metallurgical institutions and industries, Minhani, NFC, ARCI, DMRL, CMAT, GAT, and many industries like DHL and so on. As you know, well, the economic growth of any country, the main drivers are materials and materials technologies. In fact, we are tier one working on materials and material technologies to convert into useful products for various strategic applications. As you know, well, metallurgy is basically a process control. You need more physics. If you need more physics, you don't need more engineering. So that's the reason, okay, we are looking for academicians to tackle our problems along the way. And today, if you look at the materials, from the concept to the final application, it's nearly taking 20 to 25 years. That is the time is required for the materials for applications. And all these areas, okay, people are developing materials the traditional way and trial and error approach and using empirical formulas and equations. Can we cut down the cycle time to a practical limit? How to overcome that? So that's the thing we are trying to see that can we use any computational methods, any modeling techniques to cut down this cycle time? As you know, well, if you want to make any product, you require design, you require the material, you require a manufacturing process. I can confidently say that today we are reached a maturity. I can design, I can manufacture using computational methods. I can able to come down to a practical characterism, but we're not able to design materials because it's a very complex phenomenon. The moment you are able to design, that is the only missing link as of now. If you want to cut down the cycle time, we have to design the materials by using various computational techniques. So that's what we're trying to work on. IC approach, integrated computational metals engineering. That's the only way we can able to cut down the cycle time. In fact, the lab, they started a program on development of material and the final product by using integrated computational metals engineering. So it's not possible at one lab, okay, we're interacting with various academic institutions. In fact, we are interacting with IIT Hyderabad in day-to-day in many activities. And many faculty members are a partner for bring up our programs. So we are trying to work on that, and we're interacting with almost around 20 institutions to complete the program. There's a powder to make it, and ultimately to make a disk for engine applications. So now it's that's the one thing we are working on that. And second one is when you look at industry needs today, everyone is asking advanced systems should be very light and should faster, should be lighter, and so on. And we need materials, we need also manufacturing technologies. And we are able to make the materials, okay, at a reasonable time, but we are not able to design the systems from these materials because we are lacking the manufacturing technologies.
And one of the emerging manufacturing technologies is the additive manufacturing. In fact, this institute is started a Center of Excellence in the additive manufacturing, and Murthy is already indicated the DRDO is supporting a lot in the Center of Excellence in the field of additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing basically is close to the nature, and it's more properly known as 3D printing. And using 3D additive manufacturing, we can functionally get the materials, we can do it. Location-based microstructures, we can able to get it by additive manufacturing. For example, if you look at the bliss of narrow engine product, this is we want to have equivalent structure. The blades we want as a single crystal or a column structure. And today we are able to do it, but we are able to join it by mechanical means. But we want to integrate this bliss, and that's an activity which we are going to do that. And to realize these kind of components for additive manufacturing is the feedstock is the mainly powder. And on powders, we cannot use it. We have to design the powders, and we have to design the like powders to suit additive manufacturing. That is one of the biggest area of the metallurgists who can able to do that. And we are collaborating with various institutions. In particular, we are collaborating with IIT Hyderabad in these directions. And then another one, okay, what we are looking is we have recently started working on remaining life assessment of aeronautical components. And if somebody wanted to assess the remaining life of aeronautical components or aircraft, because in Air Force it's asking us, can we use this engine for a certain time? And for that, if you want to accurately want to do it, we have to look at the material degradation modeling. And we have to evolve the microstructures, theoretical microstructures with respect to the surface behavior. And we have to evolve the microstructures by using manufacturing fabrication techniques, because when you're fabricating and manufacturing, there is a change in microstructures. So how to look for that? And any kind of point, you have to look at the structure and properties. If you want to pull a certain properties, we require anything is structure is a face and side, inside, and so on. So we need high computing computational methods, and we need high-resolution microscopes to understand the phases so that we can able to correlate with that. And very recently, we have started working on high-temperature materials for hypersonic vehicles. Our data general missile systems are already indicated just now. So we are looking for high-temperature materials because the vehicle has to go with 6 to 8 Mach, in fact, 10 Mach and so on. So then the material should withstand the temperature, should be lighter, and should resistance to oxidation and so on. We have been able to work on the last decade or so. We are working and we are collaborating with various institutions, and in fact, we did a lot of work with the IITs, especially IIT Madras and with IIT Hyderabad, and we were able to make nano-based alloys, and we wanted to go for a silicon carbide CFI SiC composites for the combustion chambers as well as the nodes at the leading edges of the test. And today, because we are looking at this IIT, okay, because they are working in additive manufacturing, okay, we want to go for a combustion chamber, which is for refractory materials. So we have wanted to make powders for refractory materials. And with that, we wanted to make an actual combustion chamber made of additive manufacturing work. Because it's very difficult to get certain kind of components by normal manufacturing methods. So this is one way we are looking, because that activity is going on right now. And as you know well, that's one of the flagship program of DRDO hypersonic vehicles. So we are given more depending on the academic people, okay, to control, design the materials and their performance and so on. And the other one is Professor Mohan was extremely involved in, and we did a lot of work on high-purity alloys. Actually, we are looking at these high-purity alloy systems for joining incompatible materials. Joining of titanium to nickel or titanium to stainless steel and so on. Can I use, because these are intermetallic, whenever you try to join, it forms intermetallics. And can we use this high-purity systems and the filler material to join it, so that we can able to minimize the weight of the component, we can enhance the performance and so on. So all the way, because then what I want to say is, okay, we are already working with academic institutions and closely with IIT Hyderabad. and timely or initiated this kind of an activity. And we wanted to interact day to day to the progress of our programs. And to work on that, in fact, MHRD has taken a decision why can't you take a student for PhD programs. In fact, many are registered in IIT, and they can use our facilities, and we can also use the facilities and so that we can be able to work for the actual goal, focus it, and we can able to work on that. So material is the major linkage, missing link in the manufacturing. It's taking a lot of time. We want to reduce the time so that we should be able to match with the system developers. Most of the systems are they're asking within 4 years. Whenever we are proposing a project, they say, why 3 years, why 4 years, why can't it be 2 years? Materials is very difficult. So we want to match the development of materials on par with the system development. So I'm once again thankful to Professor Murthy for inviting me to for this particular program, and I'm thankful to you once again. And we are open, and we are very happy to work with the institutions like IIT Hyderabad. Thank you very much.
IIT Hyderabad shares a constructive and fruitful collaboration with Honeywell Technology Solutions in the areas of advanced technology development since 2018. I express my sincere gratitude for the cooperation, and I take this opportunity to call upon Shri Samuel Pratapji, President of Honeywell Technology Solutions. He will be joining us through a video conference.
It's my great pleasure to be part of this inauguration as you open these 3 centers of cutting-edge technology. I represent Honeywell, which is a Fortune 100 software industry leader, and technology is what we are all about. It's our passion, and it runs deep in our veins. We deliver industry-specific solutions for aerospace, control and energy-efficient technologies for buildings, safety and productivity solutions for enterprises, workers, and high-performance materials and process technologies that make the world connected, smarter, safer, and more sustainable. I'm proud to say that many of these technologies are being developed right here in India at Honeywell Technology Solutions. We have over 5,000 engineers across 4 centers in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Madurai, and Gurgaon. Since its inception more than 25 years ago, Honeywell Technology Solutions has encouraged and empowered its engineers to push the frontiers of scientific research. Industry-academia collaboration is one of the avenues that we have successfully undertaken in this pursuit. We have tie-ups with many institutes, and we are particularly proud of our collaboration with IIT Hyderabad, which dates back several years. We have undertaken joint research in many areas like material characterization, artificial intelligence for aerial vehicles, obstruction detection, and natural language processing, to name a few. The Artificial Intelligence Lab at IIT Hyderabad is an extension of this collaborative partnership. This lab will bring together IIT's expertise in fundamental research and Honeywell's experience in applied research. It's also a perfect meeting ground for some of the brightest minds of the country, represented through the students and faculty of IIT Hyderabad and Honeywell's rich pool of talented engineers with domain knowledge and industrial experience. Technology maturity arising out of this partnership will eventually lead to the development of products and solutions that use AI and emerging technologies to solve real-world problems. I'm personally excited by the endless possibilities of this partnership and what it can do, not only for the advancement of science and technology, but also for the country. As we say at Honeywell, the future is what we make it. Thank you for this opportunity and wish you all the very best.
I would now like to call upon Honorable Shri A.K. Nanchi, the Director General of Center of Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, to share a few words with us.
A very warm good morning to all of you. National Supercomputing Mission approved by the Government of India aims to achieve the goals of attaining self-reliance in supercomputing and problem solving in various domains of scientific and technological endeavors. The mission is steered jointly by the Ministry of Electronics and IT and Department of Science and Technology, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, have been identified as the implementing agencies of this mission. CDAC has been entrusted the responsibility to design, deploy and commission the supercomputing systems under the build approach of the mission. Under this mission, it is proposed to create a family of supercomputers of varying compute capacities to solve problems of national and global relevance. Supercomputing infrastructure, applications development, research and development, and human resource development are the four pillars of the National Supercomputing Mission. Param Seva, a state-of-the-art supercomputing system, is a supercomputing facility established under the build approach of the National Supercomputing Mission with peak computing power of 838 teraflops. Param Seva is designed and commissioned by CDAC to cater to the computational needs of IIT Hyderabad and various research and engineering institutions of the region. The system is built with the latest cutting-edge hardware and software technologies. Substantial components utilized to build this system are manufactured and assembled within India, which is a step towards the Make in India initiative of the government. The cluster is configured with dense compute nodes having latest Intel Xeon processor, scalable family CPUs to achieve maximum compute performance per rack. The system is useful for the research needs of varied scientific domains such as weather and climate, oil and gas, seismic, life and material sciences, and so on. These nodes are connected over high speed and low latency 100 Gbps infinity band network for faster inter-node communications. A dedicated 1 Gbps network for cluster provisioning, management and administration is also provided. The system has a storage of 1 petabyte configured with high performance parallel file system and archival subsystem. Param Seva is highly reliable computer with no single point of failure, scalable and secured with enhanced security features. The facility shall be connected over National Knowledge Network and will be made available to the scientific and academic community to strengthen the research and development in the country. CDAC has indigenously designed and developed a system software stack which resides on the underlying supercomputing hardware to make the usage of the system efficient and easy for the users as well as the administrators. The stack is based on open source tools which are customized and complemented with in-house software to suit the requirements. This software stack is optimized for high performance computing environment to achieve optimal performance from the computing resources. It provides complete HPC environment comprising of Linux OS, cluster provisioning tools, parallel programming modules, scientific libraries, compilers, profilers and debuggers. CDAC Chakshu, which is an integrated tool of the software stack, provides advanced level monitoring and management of the complex resources in the cluster. Resources like CPU, memory, storage, interconnects can be monitored on a real-time basis. Historical data of the cluster utilization and performance can be generated for analysis. A ticketing system integrated in Chakshu facilitates the notifications to CDAC Technical Support Desk for quick problem solving and resolution. A three-dimensional visualization provides rack-wise resources information on a live basis. Critical components such as motherboards for servers are manufactured in India. Servers are assembled, validated and tested in India. Apart from the servers, rack power controllers and rack hydraulic controllers are also manufactured in India. Param Seva is a state-of-the-art supercomputer cooled with warm water up to 40 degrees Celsius. 100% direct liquid cooled system. Adiabatic dry coolers provided with the supercomputer for warm water cooling of the direct liquid cooled system are also manufactured in India. So all in all, Param Seva is truly a cutting edge, modern, contemporary supercomputing facility, and we are very happy that it is being launched today from the hands of the Minister of Education and all other dignitaries present today. So I wish Param Seva all the best and good and efficient service with IIT Hyderabad. Thank you very much.
It is my privilege to now call upon esteemed Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary to the Government of India for Department of Science and Technology.
Good morning. I am delighted that IIT Hyderabad is making great strides in education and research by inaugurating three very important facilities. I want to congratulate Director B.S. Murthy and the faculty and staff and all the students who work on these facilities. Now the future is all about the convergence of different streams of technology, from communication to computing to autonomous decision making by artificial intelligence, by collecting data by perception in sensors, and autonomous action in actuators. So all the technologies of today and of the future would hunt in pairs. And these pairs, I see two of them right here. One of them is Center on Artificial Intelligence. And I'm also happy to note at this time that there is also a hub of cyber physical systems established at IIT Hyderabad, and certainly there would be a great synergy between the Center for Artificial Intelligence and the hub of cyber physical systems. The center being established on supercomputing through the National Supercomputing Mission, of which DST and MIT are partners, is establishing a high performance computing facility of 650 teraflops. This would cater to ever increasing demand for computing and solving many interesting and very deep scientific problems, as well as catering to national priorities in developing technology in variety of areas. I understand that this particular facility would look at modeling of space and defense vehicles, on cyber security, healthcare solutions, weather prediction, big data, etc. And by collaborating with national labs, academic institutions, government departments, industries, and startup companies. The supercomputing facility at IIT Hyderabad will be a synthesis of computing, network graphics, and visualization. It'll house state-of-the-art hardware with the most efficient electrical building and thermal management systems, and host many in-house developed software tools. It is, of course, conceived of as a functionally distributed supercomputing environment and connected by a powerful high-speed network. So indeed, I'm so happy to see all of these developments taking place at great speed and scale at IIT Hyderabad, and I wish everybody all the very best in making use of these facilities very effectively, very efficiently, and also to build upon the foundation that we lay today. This foundation, I'm sure, would serve the needs of further expansion in all the deep technology areas, in the deep science, in the many years and decades to come.
May I now take this opportunity to invite Mr. Akaman Kingo, Senior Representative in JICA India, to address the gathering.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the inauguration of campus for Department of Material Science and Metallurgical Engineering building, together with the related facilities and equipments. Under a significant impact of COVID-19 since last year, we can easily imagine how difficult it has been for IIT Hyderabad contractor and consultant to complete this campus. Once again, I would felicitate the effort of all the concerned people. Now, I would like to emphasize that JICA's cooperation with IIT Hyderabad is one of the most successful examples of our holistic programmatic approach. This important cooperation was based on the commitment between the Prime Ministers of India and Japan in 2007. Since then, it has been nearly 15 years, and we have made a lot of significant progresses. And today's inauguration is one of such achievements. Let me briefly share the collaboration between IIT Hyderabad and JICA. We have been collaborating with number 1, research and development, number 2, human resource development, and number 3, improvements of infrastructure through various projects, including JICA's financing, technical cooperation, joint research, and public-private partnership projects. Starting from this campus building today, which we are celebrating, we are expecting more of such facilities to be inaugurated in the coming month. In addition, I am delighted to inform that last month, JICA had signed an agreement with the IIT Hyderabad and the Government of India for a new technical cooperation project, which will further enhance our collaboration by establishing a sustainable platform for academic and industrial collaboration between India and Japan at IIT Hyderabad. Under this new technical cooperation, JICA experts will be dispatched to the institute, and several initiatives will be implemented, such as launching of Japan desk at IIT Hyderabad, student exchange programs, support for collaborative activities with Japanese educational and research institutes, and providing research fund. I am very excited to see the progress of our collaboration with IIT Hyderabad, so that IIT Hyderabad is becoming a complete and comprehensive place for providing highest level of research and education. I look forward to seeing steady progress of campus development for the remaining buildings, and at the same time, wishing to see a fruitful impact of our collaborations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My name is Shingo Miyamoto. I am Minister in charge of Economic Affairs and also Development Affairs at the Embassy of Japan. It is a huge honor for me to be given this opportunity to speak at this auspicious moment. I would like to thank Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Minister for Education, and all the other speakers that spoke before me for their presence. At the outset, I would like to congratulate everyone who has been involved in this project for the inauguration of the academic building for the Department of Materials Science and Metallurgical Engineering, and the two other important facilities that we are inaugurating today. As was mentioned by Mr. Akamine, who spoke before me, IIT Hyderabad is a shining gemstone in the number of innumerable projects of cooperation that we have between Japan and India. I would just like to mention one story from my own experience that exemplifies why this is so important to us. So as I just said, Japan has numerous cooperations that we do with India. In fact, India is it is the largest recipient of external assistance that Japan provides around the world. And one of the bigger projects that we do is the Mumbai Handabad high-speed rail project. And we are through this project, we are hoping that we will transfer the cutting-edge technology of the Japanese high-speed rail to India. Of course, the first corridor will be between Handabad and Mumbai, but we are hoping that in the future it will expand throughout the country. So in the process of doing this project, I have been having pretty much daily meetings with the Indian side and also with the Japanese side, which includes people from Japan Railways East, which is a company that runs the high-speed rail project, high-speed rail in Japan, in the eastern part of Japan. Now, in one of these meetings, I met an Indian engineer who is working for Japan Railways East. Now, in these meetings, I was very surprised because she spoke perfect Japanese, and she was working as an engineer in this, company that runs one of the world's best high-speed rail systems. And I was surprised to learn that she was a graduate of IIT Hyderabad. Very pleasantly surprised. And after a few years of working in this company in Japan as an engineer, my understanding is that she is going to come back and work for the Indian High-Speed Rail Corporation for the construction and management of this new cutting-edge transportation system that's going to start running in India sometime in the near future. So this is it's an example, but this is the kind of things that we want to see from this cooperation. We want to see young Indian engineers go to Japan and work there and then learn from what we have in Japan. We also want to have young Japanese people or Japanese researchers come to India, to Hyderabad, and learn from you. And I think the synergy that we can have between our two great countries is humongous. It's limitless. So we want to capitalize on that. And IIT Hyderabad is, I guess, it's like the epitome of this kind of cooperation that we want to have far into the future together with India. So thank you very much for all of you who are involved in this project. I'm not sure if there are students here today in the audience, but I want to encourage all the students of IIT Hyderabad through you to make the best of the experiences that they will have at this school, this prestigious school. But not only that, to try to make the best out of the exchanges, both in research, but in terms of like physical exchanges as well, with Japan, which I think is an important thing. It will form an important bridge between our two countries, which will solidify the friendly relationships for our two countries. Just one more thing that I wanted to say is I wanted to encourage people, students and also professors, because at IIT Hyderabad, obviously you will have a lot of opportunities to interact with the Japanese people. I wanted to encourage anyone who is interested to try to learn Japanese. This engineer that I spoke about, she did not speak Japanese before she went to Japan, but she now speaks it like a Japanese person after only 2 or 3 years of being there. And this is probably a really important thing if we want to have a real kind of exchange or understanding between our two nations. And here I want to show just one screen. I'm sharing my screen. I hope this is visible. In urging everyone to study Japanese, I just wanted to show you how similar Japanese and the Indian languages are. And I'm studying Hindi, so I'm sorry, Hindi is the only language I can use as an example. However, here I've written Delhi mein COVID-19 की स्थिति दिन ब दिन बेहतर होती जा रही है. Now, underneath it, I've written the same sentence in Japanese and also the same sentence in English. And I've drawn lines between the corresponding words. And you can see here that between Hindi and Japanese, and I'm told that this kind of correspondence exists between most Indian languages and Japanese, there is a word-by-word correspondence of the structure of the sentence. This includes things like "behtar hoti ja rahi hai." This is, said in the same way in Japanese, using the same words, whereas in English, if you draw the lines between English and Hindi, in that part of the sentence, it's all, the lines cross over each other and it's all messy. Some of the words don't even correspond with each other. So please do not be afraid of studying Japanese. So I'm stopping my sharing. It's actually a pretty easy language to learn for anyone who speaks any of the Indian languages. So, you are going to have these exchanges with the Japanese anyway, so why not learn their language? I think it will make it more fun. Well, in concluding my remarks, I just want to congratulate everyone for the inauguration of these facilities today, because as a few of the speakers have already said, we are in this COVID period, and I'm sure it was very difficult to make this happen. We are very encouraged of the fact that things have moved forward even during these difficult times. And we look forward to the completion of all the construction work that's going to happen in the future so that the maximum impact can be achieved from this project. They say that Rome is not built. So IIT Hyderabad is also the same. It's been going on for a while and it will go on for a while, but we need to be persistent. And I really hope that I just gave one example today, but in the near future, IIT Hyderabad and also the consortium of Japanese, both companies, government entities, and universities that has been formed to support and also interact with IIT Hyderabad will lead to really good things that can contribute to the betterment of the lives of humanity, and also in strengthening the important friendship between the two countries that we love. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Namaskar.
Please join me welcoming our chief guest for the day, Honorable Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, with a huge round of applause.
Namaskar. Mr. Usami Koichi, First Secretary, Embassy of Japan, Mr. Katsuo Matsumoto, Chief Representative Japan International Cooperation, Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy, Chairman, Board of Governance, IIT Hyderabad, Professor B.S. Murthy, Director, faculty, staff members and my dear students. My greetings to all of you. It's a pleasure for me to inaugurate the new building of the Department of Material Science and Metallurgical Engineering, Artificial Intelligence Center and High Performance Computing Facility. I would have liked to be present with you in person to inaugurate these centers, but the pandemic has imposed new restrictions of movement on us. I believe we are well on our path to achieve India's ambition to scale the top of the global knowledge economy. The IITs have contributed substantially to the country's efforts to realize this ambition. I believe we have a great opportunity in the kind of intellectual capital and momentum that is available for generating ideas and initiatives that will help translate the aim of India at 100 into reality. The availability of new building will allow our students to gain practical experience. These investments are solely so you realize your dreams and aspirations. I hope that you will utilize them effectively and bring solution to the challenges that India faces today. India has youngest population, and by empowering our youth, we can become a superpower and a global knowledge hub. With such initiatives in technology, we can enhance India's capability in solving problems of national and international relevance. I am sure that the state-of-the-art facilities will empower scientists and researchers and enable them to carry out cutting-edge research in various domains and optimize investments to attain global competitiveness and ensure an Aatma Nirbhar Bharat in the strategic area of technology. With the advancement in technology, along with the creativity of tech-savvy teachers and entrepreneurs, including students entrepreneurs, it is certain that technology will impact education in multiple ways. Technology will not just change what students learn in the classroom, but also how they learn, and thus these areas will require extensive research. Our government has envisaged a more prominent role of technology while adhering to India-centric values and culture in the National Education Policy 2020. Just weeks before, on the occasion of completing 1 year of NEP 2020, we launched the National Education Technology Forum to synergize technology with mainstream education. It will provide a platform for free exchange of ideas on using technology to enhance learning, assessment, planning, administration, and so on, both for school and higher education. NEP 2020 will ensure that not just the IITs but also the most marginalized institutions will have access to quality content through technology. NEP 2020 is an instrument for leveling the field and equalizing opportunities and choices. In response to formal recognition of new disruptive technology, the National Research Foundation will initiate or expand research efforts in technology. I am glad to share that 50,000 crores for the next 5 years have been approved for the same in the union budget. I am aware that IIT Hyderabad has been the first Indian educational institution to offer a full-fledged B.Tech program in artificial intelligence, which is aligned with the recommendation of NEP 2020. I am glad to witness the unique collaboration of IIT Hyderabad with Japanese universities and industries. The program to promote mobility of students and faculty between your institution and well-reputed Japanese universities is an excellent example of international collaboration. I am sure with the recommendation of NEP 2020, these kinds of collaboration would become more commonplace and further strengthened to achieve the goal of internationalization at home. I once again congratulate IIT Hyderabad on the inauguration of the new centers. I hope that you dream big and get the strength to persevere towards realizing those dreams. I wish you all great success. Thank you, friends. Jai Hind.
As many of us have joined online, we would like to take this opportunity to have an online inauguration ceremony. I now invite Honorable Professor K.V.L. Subramaniam, Dean Planning of our institute, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for the inauguration of the Material Science and Metallurgical Department building, the Center for Research and Innovation in AI, High Performance Computing Center, and the High Resolution Electron Microscopy Facility. At the outset, on behalf of IIT Hyderabad, I wish to offer my profound gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Education, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, for gracing this occasion as the chief guest. The kind words of encouragement will help guide the vision for the functioning of newly inaugurated facilities in the department. We are very thankful to Mr. Shingo Miyamoto, Minister of Economic and Development Embassy of Japan, for his kind words of appreciation and for highlighting the role of India-Japan collaboration towards developing world-class research facilities at IIT Hyderabad. We are very thankful to Dr. Mohan Reddy, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Hyderabad, for continuous support and advice, which have greatly helped towards the successful completion of these projects. You've been a mentor to us, sir. Thank you. We convey our sincere thanks to Shri Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary, I&C and IT Department, Telangana Government, Dr. G. Madhusudan Reddy, Director, DMRL, Hyderabad, Shri BHVS Narayanamurthy, Director, RCI, Hyderabad, Dr. Tata Narsingh Rao, Acting Director, ARCI, Hyderabad, Professor P. J. Narayanan, Director, International Institute of Information Technology, Hyderabad, Shri Samuel Pratap, President, Hon'ble Technology Solution, Colonel A.K. Raj, Director General CDAC, Mr. Akimane Kengo, Senior Representative JICA India, Shri Ajay Prakash Sani, Secretary-Deity, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary-DST, for their gracious presence today. We sincerely thank Professor B.S. Murthy for his wholehearted support to the establishment of these facilities. Thank you, sir. We take this opportunity to extend our gratitude to JICA and Ministry of Education for funding and enabling phase 2 of construction and for procuring high-end research equipment. We express grateful thanks to the Department of Science and Technology, GST, Department of Electronics and Information Technology, DEITY, and Honeywell for financially supporting and funding the establishment of these centers and facilities on the campus of IIT Hyderabad. We are also thankful to Larsen & Toubro and Tata Consulting Engineers for timely construction of the MSME building and for logistics support. Finally, I'd like to say we are extremely fortunate to be able to draw upon the willing support of colleagues who have demonstrated initiative and involvement. While we cannot thank everyone by name, we must place on record the appreciation of untiring efforts of the organizing committee, which has helped put together this event, the construction and management team of IIT Hyderabad for their logistics support and for monitoring the construction and maintenance on campus, and the administration team at IIT Hyderabad for the logistics support. I conclude by thanking you for joining us on this occasion. Thank you.
I would like to thank our Honorable Chief Guest, guest of honors, dignitaries, guests, and all the delegates, and to all the resource persons who made this ceremony a great success. Thank you so much for blessing us with your gracious presence, motivating us, and supporting us all the time. I now request everyone to please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत